Hey guys, Ellie Showstack here. Hope you are doing well. Today, what we're going to talk about is a problem that if you're single or if you're divorced, this is something that probably happens to you at least once a day, okay? And the reason why it happens to you once a day is because inevitably you'll be in some type of gathering with other people and they're going to ask you about your personal life, about your love life, about your lack of a love life, or what's going on in your love life, or what's going on in your relationships. And, you know, what you usually wind up doing in these situations, because there's a part of your brain that feels that so many people have been asking me this for so long, and you sometimes try to explain yourself in these situations, whether it's to a family member who you haven't seen in a long time, you're at a gathering, whether it's to an acquaintance whom you haven't really seen in a while, or just in general. For some reason, and I'll tell you what the reason is in a minute, people who are single or who are divorced for years, they get asked this question often. Now, why do they get asked this question often? You don't go up to people who are in a partnership and say, how's your sex life? How's it going? Really? How long has it been since you guys been together intimately? Now, sometimes you might, but the reason why you don't is because that's considered the norm. It's considered normal for people to be together. Now, that means even if the people who are together have a shitty relationship, they're still in their brains thinking that they have something and you don't have that. So since they have something, and the world supposedly has something, which it doesn't, by the way, and you're coming to a gathering single, or you're coming to a situation where you're single, they start to ask you. It's almost like as if what kind of movies you like, or what kind of sports you like, or how is the game? Oh, great. Anything going on in your love life? Oh, you dating anyone? What? So because our world, the majority of our world, assumes that you are not complete without somebody else, you get asked these questions often. Often. Okay? I remember I was at my sister's wedding. She got married, you know, about 6 or 7 years before I did. And I'm at the wedding, and a family friend walks over to me and knew that I was in the dating, who the hell knows, and says, "Knew what's going to be with you? What's going to be with you?" It's almost if I had a disease, that being single was like a disease, like what's your prognosis going to be? Um, Now, I had a few choice words for this dude. I really wanted to curse him out. But then, like, what was I going to say to him? Well, I'm going to probably find someone similar to your wife and be unhappy and settle like you did for many years, where you massively argue with each other and tolerate each other and don't really have that much of a good sex life. That's what I wanted to say. I didn't, okay? But instead, I sublimated and was upset for I think I might have given him a comeback or something like that at that time. I don't remember what I did. But another situation was I was in a faculty lounge. Oh my God, this sucked. Oh, did this suck? I was in a faculty lounge and people knew, I guess people knew I was single. And in front of everybody, this well-meaning lady goes, oh, Ellie, I have a girl for you. I want to set you up with this girl. And I was like, now I think she had good motives. Again, she was coming from the place of, people should be with somebody else, so I should set him up with somebody. That was her motive, I guess. But I wanted to say like, well, I know a good therapist for you. I really know someone who can teach you about social boundaries. That's awesome. That's what I wanted to say, but I didn't. But if you're single or you're divorced, you will get asked these questions often. Now, what then happens in your mind is you're put in a very uncomfortable position. There's a part of you that wants to curse the person out. There's a part of you that feels bad if I don't answer this question, then they're going to think that I'm not nice, or it's just going to play into their thoughts that I'm a person who is all defensive about me being single. Like, what's your problem? What's your problem that you can't talk about your dating life and your love life? What's your problem? Oh, that's why you're single. You're single because you don't know how to be around other people. Because I was just asking you if you're dating anyone and you got all nuts. Okay. So here's my thoughts on this. Okay. As one who experienced this for about 11 years of being single and having relationships, some good, some not that good, and being constantly judged, because that's really what happens in society, is you're really judged by other people for not being in a relationship. And I'll tell you right now, I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me as this is clear as day. There is absolutely no difference whatsoever between you and this other human being. You're both human beings. They might be in something, or whether it's happy or unhappy, it doesn't really matter. You might not be in something at that time. That doesn't make you any less than them. That doesn't make them any better than you. That is all societal crap. Okay? Now, we think, because of all of the media and all of the things that get pushed on us, that we need to be in something in order to be happy. We need to be in something in order to be complete. We want to fit in so badly. We want to fit in so badly that when we go to that family function, we don't get asked questions. We don't get asked about our love lives, right? Because society is still so entrenched in that soulmate mentality, in that you complete me mentality, in that illusion of stupidity that I can only be myself when I'm with somebody else. People think that they have the right to ask you, or they don't even think that they have the right. They don't even think. They just ask, what's going on with your love life? What's going on with your sex life? I mean, it's idiotic. It's idiotic. Okay. I know a person that someone says to him, he had been single for years. Oh, so must be really tough for you. That being single for all these years, like not being able to be with someone and not being able to have like sex on a constant basis. And this person like turned to them and was like, I actually sleep with a different person every single night. I am like in my prime. This is the greatest experience ever. And the guy was like, okay, and he walked away. So people don't really get it, okay? And I don't fault them for it because I lived in that mentality for many years that somebody else is going to complete me, somebody else is going to make me happy, somebody else is going to, she should be doing this, she should, okay? So here is why you should not, okay? And by the way, I'm not a big fan of shoulds. So I just give advice. You don't have to do what I'm telling you to do at all. There's no pressure, but I find this helpful and my clients find it helpful. So that's why I'm recommending it. But the moment that you begin to explain your personal life or personal business to anyone, you've automatically broken down a little bit of your confidence. A little bit of your confidence. Now, that doesn't mean I'm telling you that when the person says, oh, so are you dating anyone, or how your love life's going, you give them the finger. No. But there's no reason whatsoever, unless you want to begin to answer a question like that, because your confidence will slowly be eroded and your mind is going to play into that mentality that you need this relationship in order to fit in. You need this relationship in order to be complete. You need this relationship in order to go to social settings so that you don't feel like the outcast, alone. Okay? So my advice to you is, unless you want to discuss it with this person, if you're a good friend and it just happens to come up, okay. But if this is someone that you would normally not share something like this with, my response would be to smile. Now, they might think something's mentally wrong with you, but who the hell cares? Oh, how's your love life? You dating anyone? They're going to move off very quickly because it gets uncomfortable for them. They're not going to know what to do. I'm telling you, they will move off to the next question because there's going to be an uncomfortability factor. As soon as you begin to be silent when they ask you these questions, you're going to notice that they're uncomfortable with the silence, and then they're going to move on to something else. And that is the ultimate form of power. This is going to sound crazy, but sometimes the ultimate form of power to bring your self-confidence back is to do nothing. Because it's not what the majority of people do. The majority of people will begin to explain and begin to, you don't understand, right? So I give this example often to my clients. We just had 2 live Q&As this past week. And one client was telling me that she was with some person and the person kept texting, and she wanted to explain to him why she felt a certain way, whatever. So I said, if you know in your heart, right, that what you believe to be true is correct, if you know in your heart what you believe to be as true is correct, you don't have to begin to explain yourself to this other person, right? Because sometimes when you explain yourself to somebody, they usually have 10 reasons prepared why you're wrong, right? So you go ahead and you're single and person's like, so you dating anyone? And because you don't want to be mean, because you don't want to be rude, and you don't want to be silent, you start answering the question. Well, no, not really. It's really tough out there. It's really tough out there? You know how I met her? You know how I met him? Right away, they'll show you why it's not tough. Okay? They got their reasons. They want to show you, and it sounds crazy, but they want to show you that you're wrong, that it's real simple. All you got to do is find the right one. All you got to do is just find the right one. All you got to do is just find the right one, and then everything would be happy. Everything would, right? No. No. Do not, I was trying to think of like a funny like little phrase, like explaining is draining. Maybe, is that mine? I don't know if that's mine, but I'm going to coin it. I'm going to trademark it right now. Explaining is draining. And what it's draining of, it's draining you of your confidence. So as soon as you start to explain in any way yourself to anyone ever, it is going to drain you of your confidence. I'm getting a lot of likes and smiles on that one. So I guess that explaining is draining is actually hitting home to a lot of people. So good. I'm going to put it on a t-shirt. Explaining is draining. Explaining is draining. So when you go ahead in any situation, but specifically with the love life thing, you are eroding your confidence slowly. You're chipping at it. You're chipping at it. You're chipping at it. And then you don't realize how it affects you. You don't realize how it makes you feel when you come home after that conversation. Oh my God, I'm single. Oh my God, why can't I just get my shit together and just be with someone like them? When 9 out of 10 times they're unhappy. I'm telling you that right now. Usually people that have to discuss their personal lives a lot or like ask other people questions about their love life usually means that some crap is going on in their own life, that they feel the need to start asking you stuff about your love life. Like, why the hell do you care? Like, just let me be, right? But again, if it's a close friend or someone that you feel you have a good friendship with, so of course you're going to talk about things. But I'm talking about in these social situations. Explaining is draining. So my advice to you is that when you get asked a question that you do not feel comfortable answering, the best thing to do, nothing. Watch me. Ellie, who the hell are you to give advice to singles about dating? Now, here's what my ego wants to say to a comment like that, okay? Because someone's said that to me on one of my posts. Who are you? What makes you such an expert, right? So your ego wants to attack it like crazy. Your ego wants to rip the person like to shreds, right? So okay, well, I was single for years. I wore a freaking toupee on my head. When I was single, I have a degree in clinical social work, and then I switched to coaching, and I've been helping hundreds of people over the past years. So this is why I can help you go from being single into getting into something healthy. That's all my mind. I gotta prove. This is the best response. Who are you? Who are you? This is my response. So when you get asked that question that makes you feel uncomfortable, and by the way, that just builds up your confidence. That builds your confidence. You become stronger and stronger and stronger. And you know what that means? That means that you're going to attract another human being into your life who is also on that level of strength and confidence. The person that answers all those questions to those annoying people, you're going to wind up attracting other people who also answer those questions. Because you're both coming from the same mind frame of, I need somebody else in order to complete me. So I keep saying this. I named my coaching program Find the Right One. I have 100% success rate because the right one is you. Once you fully get that, then you can get into and maintain a healthy, loving relationship. So I hope this was helpful. I hope that you were able to gain some great tools to use in really annoying, frustrating relationships that could hopefully change your mind frame as well. And the two announcements that I wanted to make is that I will be in New York City speaking at a meetup event for singles. I think the topic is how to go back into the daunting world of dating and 4 steps that you could use in order to increase your chances of success in a healthy relationship. I'm also going to be on a Good Buddies podcast on Tuesday night called A Guy Thing. I'm so excited for that. This guy is really cool, from Brooklyn, just like me, where I grew up. And if you have any comments or questions, or you want to learn more about the Find the Right One coaching program, you can go on my page and see all the testimonies. People are changing their lives in a matter of hours, really hours. I had one client join, and within the hour after she went through week 1, and this person is so awesome. She's so kick-ass. She's a psychologist, okay? And not everybody who's a psychologist would want to take a program like this, because sometimes people, that's why I really admire her. Sometimes people, it's not just psychologists, but like, imagine if I was giving dental advice, right? And I went to a dentist and I said, well, you need to do this in order. They would, no, okay. Here's how you got to floss in order to clean the tooth. So someone who's a psychologist might feel, not saying right or wrong, that, well, I studied for this. I understand human relationships. I understand how the mind works. So therefore, I should be successful in this, and I'm just going to do it on my own. Well, in 1 hour of taking the program, she said she learned more in that 1 hour about love relationships than in all of her schooling. So if you're interested in learning more, go ahead and message me. Click like on this video. I see there's a lot of feelings and comments, because a lot of people experience this crap, and it's not fun, okay? So again, if you're in New York on Monday night, I'll post where I am. I think you could go on my page and also see where I'm speaking. Would love to see you, meet up with you, and check out that podcast, The Guy Thing, on Tuesday night. I'll post about that too. Have an awesome day, guys. Oh yeah, and explaining is draining. I have to trademark that.